Hey everybody, this is Alfred and welcome to my animation page. I'm a character designer, animator, comics artist and writer. This speed draw is of Halle Bailey's Ariel in the remake of The Little Mermaid. From what I've seen, it's really good and really spectacular, and I will take no arguments at this time. Is it better than the original? Well, as of May 15, 2023, we'll see when it comes out. I was talking to a friend about The Little Mermaid remake and how it has affected Disney fans, especially to the remake itself. And let me just say it has brought out the worst in them. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm very excited for The Little Mermaid remake. And that got me thinking. Audiences are being too nostalgic for their own good, especially when it comes to Disney. And I'm gonna talk about it. Disclaimer, this video will have opinions which all of you will not agree with. And that's okay. You're allowed to have opinions, as do I. Art is subjective. You're allowed to like or dislike anything. If you disagree with anything, we can have a respectful discussion. I, however, will not allow any comments that are rude, racist, bigoted, or sexist in any way. Those comments will be deleted, no ifs, ands, or buts. I hope you understand. So, moving on. You know that episode in Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur? Great show, by the way. Stop this video, watch it if you haven't, and come back after you're done. You know there's a saying that the Beyonder said. What is the human obsession with remakes? This animated version is way better. He has a point, I don't blame him. Comments about the Little Mermaid remake has sparked some controversy and fans are being really sour about it. And it got me thinking. The thing is, the Disney fandom is slowly turning into the Star Wars fandom. And I know some of you are gonna say, "You take that back! That's crazy talk!" But it is, and the reason it's glued to that is one thing. Nostalgia! Well, in Star Wars, the fandom itself is toxic and we all know this. This isn't something new. But as fans have shown us for the Little Mermaid remake, fans of Star Wars are being too nostalgic of the franchise. Some even use their negative biases to justify their nostalgia. Some sayings, for example, the Star Wars fandom is dead. Star Wars is woke. Disney killed Star Wars, blah blah blah. I don't say blah blah blah. Well, fellow brother in Kenobi, say what you want, but that is far from the truth. That being said, the Disney fandom is kind of becoming that. Star Wars fans. Saying things like, "Oh my gosh, Disney has gone woke. Stop turning white characters into POCs. Nick Fury, why don't you make original black characters? Oh my..." Well, I'm sorry to be that guy. Original POC characters have been happening. As of 2023, there have been 10 original movies from Disney in the last 3 years. And 7 out of those 10 movies have main characters as people of color. Joe Garner, Mei Ling, Ethan Clade, Mirabel Madrigal, Raya from Raya and the Last Dragon, Asha from Wish, and I have to add in Luella Lafayette from Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Seriously, watch that show, it's so good. Either people are just not giving them the attention they deserve, they're not aware which is fair, and the ones that do know don't care and choose to complain anyway, which is a toxic mindset. And I know this one is self-explanatory, but people of color who were kids and are kids want to be fairies and mermaids and elves. You can make original black characters of those, but you know, black girls also want to be Ariel. There's nothing wrong with that. And let's go on to the definition of woke. People dilute the definition of woke to the ground. I kinda ignore those comments because they're not worth my time, which I will not get into. That's its own thing. That's another video, maybe in the future. My opinions on remakes in general. I do not mind them. Remakes have been happening way before Disney made it a thing. I also have my mixed feelings on the remakes, and that's something to consider. And again, remakes have been happening for decades in filmmaking, whether you like it or not. It gives new generations something new for them, something to be into and find the original movies from them, to know where they came from and how it got to where it is now, and to be hooked from them. The original King Kong was released in 1933. As of 2023, that's 90 years ago, and there have been remakes of that movie ever since. You know, cause technology evolves time and time again. I think the more notable one is the 2005 remake. You know, the one with Jack Black, one of his more serious roles. And there's the whole Monsterverse franchise with Kong Skull Island, which is a fun movie. Back to the Disney remakes. Are all of them good? No. Are they allowed to exist? Well, in a word, yes. Because it shows what to do and what not to do in a remake. Sequels, good or not, are cash grabs. For every Ice Age The Meltdown, there's an Ice Age Collision Course. And for every Toy Story 2, there's a Toy Story 4. I know some people hate Toy Story 4, but I love it, okay? I'm taking no arguments there. An example, the animated Lion King is my favorite animated movie and is one of Disney's most beloved animated films. When I heard it was getting a remake, I was excited and nervous at the same time. Even to a point I said, if it's no good, I'm not trusting remakes anymore. But for obvious reasons, I just kept going. You know, being open-minded. The remake for me is about 5.9 out of 10. The visuals are spectacular and that's cool, but sometimes good visuals don't always mean great storytelling. It's a shot-by-shot of the original with just 2 scenes added in. Slow pacing, the acting didn't fit the emotionless characters, and it just didn't exactly bring anything new to the proverbial table. It's just a carbon copy. Now the best Disney remakes in my opinion are Cinderella and The Jungle Book. They both added something new to the proverbial table. Cinderella added more backstory with her and her father, and if I can remember, a bit more context for Lady Tremaine. The animal characters felt real but didn't feel jarring, thanks to the visual effects artist. Flounder! They gave Cindy a best friend, which is cool, and they developed the prince character known as Kit. And the remake developed the relationship between Cindy and Kit. In the original, the prince character was flat until his character was developed in the 3rd movie, and it felt like an actual love letter to the original 1950 movie. For The Jungle Book, it's a complete 180. The original is fun and memorable, especially the characters Baloo, Shere Khan, and Kaa. But the remake is better than the original. I'm sorry, I said what I said, it's better. The remake just said, make it like the Renaissance. The tone is different, the story is better, and they just did something new. Shere Khan is even scarier, Baloo is still funny, Mowgli is a badass, and King Louie is better in the remake. Those two are definitions of good remakes. You can still add the same things, but it has to be different, it has to be new. Make it your own thing. Don't just copy what others have done. Back to the Little Mermaid remake. Halle Bailey's performance just knocked it out of the park for me. Especially Halle's version of Part of Your World, which gets me every single time. Halle, what did we do to deserve you? You're a star. Millennials and nostalgia. It has come to my realization that millennials are very nostalgic. I myself am one. We're a very nostalgic generation. But I try not to be biased when new things come out. If it's good, I'm okay with that. Nostalgia has impacted our everyday lives in one way or another. When we see something that reminds us of our childhood, we swoon. And it carries on into our adulthood, which is not a bad thing. You're allowed to be nostalgic. But when it feels like our childhood has been threatened by any way, everyone loses their minds. Thus leading people to use their nostalgia to threaten others. Which is obviously not a good thing. In recent years, filmmaking has been gripping on audiences' nostalgia, for better or for worse. And studios know this. Studios can feed off of nostalgia from the audiences because we love familiar things, and familiarity brings in the big bucks for these studios. And if someone does something new, that's considered taboo or dangerous to them, which is why these reboots and remakes are happening. And I'm sorry to say this is the audience's fault. This is our fault. Another reason why remakes are happening and people are complaining about said remakes, saying we want more original stuff, which is happening by the way, is because people don't give the originals more hype. Their nostalgia is affecting them negatively and they don't know this. They're feeding their nostalgic monster into this situation. I'm gonna talk about the new Disney animated movie Wish that's coming out. Looking at the trailer, it's amazing, and so far people are not talking about it enough. And the ones that are, they're being complete nostalgic farts about it and not enjoying the trailer. Like, come on guys. And after what happened with Strange World, I want Wish to do well, cause again, it looks amazing. So people, if you're hearing me, please hype up Wish. Please hype it up as much as you can, because nowadays when Disney makes original stories, they don't get the attention they deserve, unless you're Encanto. Impact of the Little Mermaid remake. From what I've heard good things from the premiere, from Instagram, TikTok, etc. And Jodie Benson, the original voice of Ariel, supporting Halle in the premiere was the icing on the cake. So if Jodie Benson can support Halle, can we do that? Well, apparently other people said no, and these fans, I use the term lightly, are saying that Jodie is wrong. How? How can you say that the original voice of Ariel, who has been supporting this remake since day one, and I mean day one of the last 4 years, say that she's wrong? I'ma say it again. It's because of nostalgia and is negatively affecting fans. Again, I use that term lightly. If you're saying that Jodie is wrong, it's clear to me that you're not fans anymore. You're kinda doing a messed up version of don't hate the player, hate the game. You're just hating to hate at this point, and your biases are showing, and that's kinda sad. It really is. Whether you like them or not, whether most of them are good or not, in one way or another, there are new fans getting into Disney through these remakes and are going to be hooked through the animated movies through those remakes, old or young. In other words, those fans, the term I use lightly, they need to chill. And if you're one of those people using your negative biases to justify your opinions, you may need to do some self-reflection. Because let me tell you, you outgrew your childhood. You grew up, dude. And that's okay, it happens to everyone. But you still need to chill. I myself have outgrown many sitcoms and many Disney Channel original movies, and some people still like them. I won't say which ones because I know people love them so much. And I'ma say it again, remakes have been happening for decades. You know, many people got into Scooby-Doo through the 2002 reboot, me included. Because of that 2002 reboot, I've been a fan of Scooby-Doo ever since. I am not saying you have to like the remakes, that's not what I'm saying. It's up to you if you like them or not. I won't hold that against you. And it's fair, most remakes are usually a hit or miss, and I wish some of them are better. Seriously, with the Lion King remake, I could write it so much better. If you don't like the Little Mermaid remake, that's cool. More power to you. You are allowed to like or dislike whatever. You don't have to watch everything every studio puts out. Whether you like it or not, remakes are still gonna happen regardless. So don't be that guy, don't ruin other people's fun if they like the remakes or not. Yup, there are people who like remakes. Again, you don't have to like the remakes, but don't use your negative biases to threaten or bully other people. Because that's what people have been doing during the Little Mermaid remake, and that's not okay. I don't like all of the remakes for multiple of reasons, such as being carbon copies of the originals, or taking away certain character traits on what made the original great in the first place, and just making them emotionless, or scrapping characters altogether, or making the villains too young. That one was specific. Remakes and originals can coexist. They have been. And again, remakes have been a thing for multiple decades. The best thing we can do as an audience is to put our negative biases aside, stop hate watching, and just enjoy what we want to enjoy, and hype up original stories. Because let me tell you, the hard truth is, studios don't owe us anything. And we cannot be entitled when studios bring us something we don't like, or if they don't deliver anything at all, because these people are hard workers, okay? Like the whole writer's strike is happening as I was making this video. And we cannot bully studios for something we do not like. Yes, I know, there was that one time with Ugly Sonic, but that's besides the point. Also, I have been saying this to everyone, if you want more original stories, make them yourself. Cause no one else is gonna do it for you if you just complain. I know, it's easier said than done. Well, there you have it. Here's the full drawing of Halle Bailey's Ariel and Flounder, if they were animated. If you made it this far, I hope you enjoyed my discussion. Are you excited for the remake as I am? If not, what are you excited for? Let's have a discussion in the comments, but please let's be respectful because everyone's opinion is different. Did I miss anything out, or did you want to add anything in? Well, that's it for me. Follow me on Instagram at Alfred the Artist Animator and follow me here on Alfred's animation page for more. Stay safe, support animation, make healthy choices, and have an awesome day.